Hey everyone! You know, Kidder Music Service is one of the greatest assets to our school district. From providing day-to-day materials like reeds and valve oil to purchasing pieces of sound and instrumental equipment, there isn't anything they can't do. Kidder Music Service helps our students sound the best they can each and every day, and we are proud to call them a Music in the Making sponsor. If you are looking for similar materials for your school, don't hesitate to call and ask for assistance and mention us, Music in the Making, today. Their number is 309-692-4040, or visit kiddermusic.com, that's Kidder music.com today for all your music classroom needs. And now, on to the podcast. Welcome to Music in the Making.
That's illegal.
I want to be with you everywhere. A Halloween party. Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about work.
That's not what I said. Well, and I like Stanridge, so it's like I kind of.
Oh, you guys are friends?
Yeah,
I
talked to him. Yeah, we talked
to him last week.
A whole 5 minutes at Midwest last year. We are 3 high school and junior high music teachers from West Central Illinois.
And someone had to go to the bathroom during intermission and missed it. And that someone is me.
Yeah! Each week we will talk about our experiences in the classroom, community, and personal lives too. Please welcome your hosts, Lisa Hallen.
We say move all this stuff down there, and then it gets moved, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, why have we moved that from there to there to there? Stop recording.
Art Martinez. Happy Friday if it's not a Friday, or Saturday or Sunday, or if you're Lisa, it's a week later. And Kevin Ferry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
During class.
Well, Julia's closed, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe, yeah.
Well, I could have swore that there was one of them up by Chicago that closed because Galesburg got like an influx several years back.
Joliet was like the place for the gangsters and stuff. It's like I guess like they did the tours and stuff there. That's where they filmed Blues Brothers.
Oh, sure.
Movies of all time. One of the greatest movies of all time.
It's up there.
Hidey, 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 hi.
Hidey, 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 hi.
Hody, 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 ho.
Hody, 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 ho. You all know Minnie the Moocher? Let's do a prostitute named Minnie Mazzola. That's not what I asked, but okay.
That just moved me to, don't look, Ethel!
Yeah, don't look, Ethel!
It was too late. She already been moved.
Oh, you know I've been recording already.
Oh, I know. That's why I was giving you the
episode. Welcome back to another episode of Music in the Making.
Special episode.
After dark. Because it's really late right now.
And Lisa's not here.
And Lisa's not here, so definitely after dark.
Yeah, I told kids be quiet. We are broadcasting from the Embassy Suites in Deerfield,
Illinois. Shout out Embassy Suites.
Shout out Embassy Suites. Shout out Deerfield.
Shout out Hilton.
I had to show Kat my room because I was like, "There's more." I was like, "One in my room? Oh my gosh, there's a sink.
That's
more not room. The bathroom."
Yeah, you can do. They got a dish strainer.
Yeah, I didn't get one. Dang.
Gee, we get 2
fancier.
We get 2.
Yeah, definitely lower class in my room because you have a dish strainer.
203 is where it's at.
Oh my gosh! Well,
so yeah, we've had a heck of a day.
Yeah, so we are actually doing this somewhat spontaneous, but like we kind of talked about it actually after the last episode that we actually might do a surprise podcast after our day 1 of our combined high school Six Flags trip / senior trip. So we are really tired, and we are really happy I think so far with how the day's gone. And not only
have you even posted Thursday's episode yet?
I have not yet.
Okay, so you're gonna listen to Thursday's episode first because that's episode 30 and this is 31, right?
Yes.
We're on fire.
Oh, absolutely.
And we talked that we had to go to junior high contest. We went to junior high contest. Kids did really, really well. Then we all got home at about 9-ish.
Yeah.
And went to bed, and we all woke up. Well, I'm going to bet you two woke up around 2:15.
Yeah.
I got up at 1:45.
Yep, I got up at 2:25, but I already had my stuff I was gonna work for the day out, so all I had to do was literally just change, try not to wake up the dogs and the cats and multiple cats.
I got up at 2:39.
Nice.
So I got a little more sleep.
You did.
It was a little bit. And
I also didn't go to contest with y'all, and I went to bed at 7:30.
No, yeah, well.
You were one of the lucky ones.
So yeah, and then Art had to drive the white bus. Mm-hmm. Lisa had to drive the Suburban.
Which, okay, I will say this though, it was a much better experience because it's the nice new ones that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
So it honestly drives.
Shout out Ed Fletcher.
Shout out Ed Fletcher for investing in these vehicles because it feels like my truck, but it's a little bit smaller than that. But it doesn't feel super cramped. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a giant vehicle. It feels like, oh, this is my truck kind of that can fit 10 times more people than my normal truck can. So
we went and competed at Music in the Parks.
Music in the Parks. I had never done that before. I don't think I even knew that Six Flags had a music competition.
And how far away from Gurnee, Illinois did you grow up?
It'll be about hour south.
Okay, so 10 miles.
So yeah. So without traffic. Without traffic. With traffic, it's about 2 days.
Yeah. So yeah, our band and high school choir members of not everybody didn't come. What do we have? About 40.
Mm-hmm. We didn't even introduce our guest in the room.
Yeah, not yet.
Guests.
We're getting there.
Okay,
we're getting there.
Okay. This is your podcast again.
Am I really a guest though?
Yeah.
What is that? What do they call that? In the credits, special guest star or co.
Featuring.
He doesn't featuring. Yeah, he doesn't get the full
Yeah.
It's every now and again. Here's Al Silver
with
Al Silver.
That's how being an accompanist is at Monmouth Roseville anyway.
With.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
Recurring cast.
Choir with accompaniment.
Yeah. And then the kids played in the park all day, and none of this would be possible without our good new best friend.
He laughs because he's he's not kidding.
We'd like to welcome to the podcast Mr. Mike Roberts from Guardian Travel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Mike, tell us a little bit about your career journey, because I'm sure that people would be shocked to know that your first career was actually what?
It was a band director for 5 years.
For 5 years.
4 years down in Pontiac.
Shout out.
Shout out, sorry, I was drinking.
Drinking a soda.
Soda.
Right.
Yes.
And 1 year up in Oswego East High School. And
Shout out. Panthers.
Right.
Is Oswego? Who's the guy?
Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
Yeah.
Shout out. Didn't we have, what's his name from Indiana? Was from Oswego?
Yeah.
But he was a Panther.
Oswego High School Panthers.
High school is different.
So rivals.
Yes, rivals. Crosstown Classic, yes.
And then I found out today that you went to college at?
ISU for undergrad.
That would be Illinois State for those of you listening in Indiana.
Yeah, right.
It's not Indiana State University.
Nope.
And those of you in Iowa, it's not Iowa State. And those of you in Idaho, nobody lives in Idaho, do they?
Yeah.
I just offended the whole state.
Just potatoes.
Can you be Lisa?
Stop it!
You offended the 2 listeners. we got
Listeners,
from
that's
Idaho.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We have listeners in Idaho?
I don't know.
Hey, we got one in Peru or whatever that one time that Lisa's like, I know someone in this random place. It's okay, that's great.
Like LaSalle, Peru?
No actual
No,
Peru.
the country Peru?
Shut up.
Yeah, no, yeah, or something like that. I remember seeing it on the map. It was because it said 1% Paraguay or something like that at one point. Or, I don't know. Portuguese.
Well, welcome back if you are back with us.
Yes. Yeah. So you taught for 5 years, and then talk a little bit about Guardian. What do you do?
Yeah, Guardian Travel. We are a
Shout out.
group. Shout out.
Sponsor us.
Oh.
We'll pull strings. Group travel company, and we take primarily music programs on trips, as small as a day trip or a weekend trip, or as big as a weekend or a week trip to wherever.
Didn't you say you have a Costa Rica coming up?
I do have a Costa Rica trip happening next year.
It's Costa Rica.
It's Costa Rica.
A concert band going down of 30 kids down in
Wow.
Costa Rica.
Wow, 30? Holy cow, that's awesome.
Mike got it. That's all right.
Okay.
Mike's fine.
Anyway.
Hey, when you spend
enough time on the phone
8 hours, look, so Mike and I spent hours. I would say if you ran the stopwatch over the past 8 months, hours.
Yeah.
Planning this 2-day trip. And let me say, none of that was Mike's fault. Mike was absolutely awesome, like on top of everything all the time, making sure I was on top of everything that I could be on top of in regards to the trip. Thorough, like it was at least once a week, if not twice a week. We're communicating back and forth.
There's one day we were on the phone. I think I counted 8 or 10 times.
It was,
but like we got so much stuff done.
We got a lot done.
You know?
Yeah. Let me check with operations. I need to do this, and you check with this person.
Right.
And I was checking with kids, and I will tell you what Mike and I talked about this today. It is cheaper to plan it on your own, for sure, and no travel company would dispute that.
Correct.
But let me tell you how easy today has been for us, because Mike met us at the high school that we were performing at. Mike left there a little early. Once we were all settled and ready to go, he got everything ready for the park. Mike left the park early, so we had tickets or had our rooms ready. The kids walked in, they got their room keys, and away they went. So it was worth every second, every dime that costs. And so I'm sorry, I interrupted, and I do that a lot. If you listen to the podcast, you know
it's your podcast.
Well, it's Lisa's podcast, but not tonight.
Yeah, no, not tonight.
You're hijacking it.
It's
so.
Al time.
Give us a. Here's how it works.
Yeah.
Plug us, Guardian Travel, all of our music teacher friends.
Yeah.
And we'll do we'll do a thing at the end. We'll give Mike's information out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll do like promo code.
Yeah.
Music in the making. So, and not that you're going to get a discount, but that at least lets Mike know, hey, I got 2 new bands or 3 new customers because of now. Do they have to be local Illinois, or will you work with?
No, the one that I'm taking to Costa Rica is actually someone that I found on the band director Facebook page from Vermont. So
wow,
yeah,
shout out Vermont.
Shout out, yeah.
We already got a plant out.
He could be listening tonight. You never know.
You never know. So all right. So let's say I'm a director. I want to take my kids to the greatest state in the world, Idaho. What's my next?
You just offended 49 other states.
What is the next step?
They're rightfully offended.
Hey, we wouldn't have good French fries if it weren't for Idaho. So God bless them.
That's true. We could probably set up some potato touring.
Isn't the man good at his
right?
job? I mean, he's got it.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head right now. You know?
Absolutely. Okay, so
I want to go to a potato farm. Let's do that. Good call.
So a director says, "Hey, I want to do a trip."
Yeah.
Let's kind of step us through a little bit of like how Guardian helps us get from point A, which is the imagination of the trip, to like the day they're actually on the ground at the location of the trip.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite processes at the beginning with the director. Is I love to get them on the phone. This could be a music director. This could be a teacher of a language. But I love to sort of get the overall dream and scope of what they want to do, and that turns into an itinerary that we built at Guardian. And we work with our clients to build the perfect itinerary that fits their needs and wants for their students. And we ultimately price it out and get rolling where we get the kids signed up. So super easy process and very collaborative process. We don't force things upon our clients. We like the collaborative process of being able to work with them to build a perfect trip. So, as small, as wide, large, whatever kind of trip we do.
So we used Mike last year. We used Guardian Travel last year for our senior trip, and I couldn't remember, but I think we planned that in less than 2 months.
It started in February.
And we went at the end of April.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty fast, and Guardian got it done.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not recommending that to anybody. And Mike was like, "Yeah, we can make this happen. We'll get you on the books. We'll get you going." And we have been talking about this. Well, we have 2 trips. We have the one today with high school band and choir, and the seniors are staying the night. We're doing a bunch of Chicago stuff tomorrow. But then next week, we're bringing the junior high kids right back up. We're not spending the night with any junior high kids. We're going back home.
No.
And these, there's a junior high soccer team here.
Yeah.
Those hotel rooms probably don't smell very good. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. But, I love the fact that, even tomorrow, we had several things planned for tomorrow. It's supposed to be terrible weather. But you know what I didn't have to do? Worry about what we're doing tomorrow, because Mike already had it. Hey, if it's raining, we're going to do this, and this instead of this, and this.
Yep.
And, everything was already in. Well, I remember last year when we left whatever we went to. Oh, we went to Into the Woods.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
right.
we left, and we were going to go to a mall in somewhere. Mm-hmm. And one of our chaperones was like, I think this mall's closed. So I called Mike, and I'm like, hey, we think this is closed. He's like, oh, crap. And then he found us another one that was open, and we ended up diverting and going there. And, and I'm sure all of the sales reps, is that what you're at Guardian are that way? You have that breadth of knowledge of, okay, well, this is what else you can do, and this is what else you can do. And
right.
So,
yeah.
I think it's to learn about not only the process of setting up the trip, but during the trip, the salesperson in charge. Well, Mike in this instance, he's ready to be especially today, in case something went wrong, which it didn't, because he's awesome at planning things and organizing and whatnot. But it'd be up to him to kind of help fix scenarios. And in that particular scenario, because he wasn't with us, he was already on top of it. So we're very thankful to have Mike with us today and help us plan this trip. But I do want to go back briefly to what Kevin said. It is, of course, way cheaper to do it yourself. But you have to understand that depending on where you are, maybe you have the time to do that, and it's probably called summertime, but are you really going to want to plan an entire trip for your program during summertime? Possibly not. Right. To have a service like Guardian available is really, really helpful, because it not only helps you take that burden of planning everything, you're able to get suggestions, professional help with where a location is, and because you might have an idea of I really want to take them to Idaho, but you realize that by bus it might be too expensive, but to fly it might be better, and you never would have considered flying. So it's just a really, really great tool to have as directors, that we have this option that if we want to give our students the best experience possible, which that is what I'm all about. I'm all about experiences and making sure that it's the best possible, because I feel like it's these trips that not only keep students in when they continue to be in the program, but as they leave as seniors, they remember those moments. It might be something as simple as I want a giant eggplant at the one of the games or something like that, or hey, remember that time we almost missed the bus, ha ha ha. Yeah, it's just things like that it's trips that can make things memorable for a long time. But in order to make those things memorable, the work that people like Mike do in order to make that way and make you, the director, kind of just be enjoying it as much as you can and not having to worry is really, really helpful. So we're very thankful for Mike's work. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Way to go, Mike.
Yeah,
Mike. So
here's my question for you, and I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And we don't need to name names, but what makes Guardian better than the other companies that are out there that have been established for a long time?
Yeah.
And those of us that are music people and have done travels, we know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But what makes Guardian better?
I love talking about this question because our company was founded from a CEO who really cares about group travel and came from another travel company that he was not happy with something, so he wanted to start a company with all these great ideas in mind. And this company was founded on teachers, and it is run by teachers from top down.
Your CEO is a former band director, right?
He's
Choir director.
Choir director, that's right. Yeah, so he's super cool.
Yeah, right. Yes, very cool.
That's right. I remember having a conversation with him at IMEC because he wanted to know what we were singing at IMEC. Yeah. And he knew everything. He's like, oh, that's that Russian folk song. That song's awesome. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of my former teachers in high school.
Yeah.
That's why you can't sing.
No kidding.
Shout out Matt Granger.
Shout out Matt Granger.
He's fantastic. Former choir teacher. Our director of finance, former math teacher. All of our sales reps. Music teachers, former, current. It's top down, which is amazing because it's just easy to talk to all the music clients who we've done trips and we know what we like and what we don't like, so it's just easy to talk to. And I think that's huge when you're trying to pick a company, is that you are on the same page with the person you're talking to, and it's just incredibly easy to communicate. It's crazy the amount of people that just tell me that they, and again, not naming names, but we're working with different companies and they don't hear back from their people for weeks on end. I get an email from someone and I respond within 10-15 minutes. Like, I drop everything and make sure that my clients are being heard and all that stuff. So, long-winded answer. It's a great teacher-run company. Mm-hmm. We started in 2016 and are growing rapidly and learning from our mistakes and trying to make ourselves better. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about Guardian.
Mm-hmm. I think honestly it's somewhat ingenious to have hire people who are doing the job / people who did the job. Because when you're talking to a teacher on the phone trying to plan this trip and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been so distracted by musical, I get it. I'm there with you. I'm in the middle. I'm about to have an organizational contest myself. Yeah. I totally that connection, I think, makes them understand that, oh, he totally gets where I'm coming from. Yeah. Versus someone who's a salesperson that all they're doing is just trying to close a deal, basically, right. Which I know sounds a little cold, but I mean, depending on, but if they don't have that background of knowing what it's like to plan a musical or to get ready for solo ensemble and things like that we teachers do regularly, it doesn't feel as personal, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I really
sales definitely needs that kind of almost folksy connection.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, because anytime you hear sales for anything, you think oh, they're just in it for the commission. But I mean, of course it's a job, but that's not. At Guardian, that's not the point. The point is to make sure that we're providing these experiences the best way we can, and of course, just do it better than everybody else.
And I don't consider myself in sales. I'm just trying to get people to go on great trips. Mm-hmm. And the one last final thing I'll say about it, how unique we are, is our sales staff. Again, I say sales, but our sales staff primarily are the tour directors for the groups that they get to plan, which is nice because the client gets to build a relationship with us throughout the process, and they see that familiar face.
Yeah, Mike had to sit and listen to the three of us talk all day long. You could, you knew he was just having a great time. He's like, guys, I gotta leave. I gotta go get your tickets.
I'm having a fantastic time.
So I believe you.
Thank you.
So this year, and this was a nightmare for me, and it had nothing to do with Mike. There were several other reasons, but Guardian to me was very, very flexible with some things that we needed to have take place, and Mike and Guardian made it work. But I will tell you the biggest thing that I learned, and this is one of the reasons that we're going to stick with them, is we said next year when we do a trip, every question, every scenario, everything, every parent has a question about their money or their whatever. Mike Roberts at GuardianTravel.com.
Yeah.
And Mike has said, I will answer every single one of those. You don't need to do a thing.
Yeah.
Put it all on me. I will take care of it. You don't have to worry about it for a second.
Right.
And I freaking love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love that because I'm not kidding. Some of the questions that I got bordered on the absurd.
I can vouch for that.
Bordered on the absurd.
I had to read some of them
like,
to you. I can vouch for that.
I don't want to. Guardian gets paid to handle these things. So what we're doing next year is we've already sat and talked about the trip for next year. Mike's got the game plan. He'll put an itinerary together, give us a quote. And next fall, we're having a senior parent meeting, and Mike will be either there in person or on Zoom, and he's going to talk to everybody about how we're going to do this, and I won't have to do a thing, which is awesome. And music teachers, that's worth it. Mike, this is what I want to do. Make it happen. Tell me how much it's going to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm hands off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we try to do. So
Sponsor us.
Sponsors. Give us a booth, yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I just found out about this. Well, I kind of but officially found out about this today. If you are to book a trip with Guardian Travel, are there any perks for the director that books the trip to Guardian Travel?
I love this question.
I do too. I love the answer to this question.
Now me going back into my sales sort of brain. We, of course, have wonderful incentives for directors to kind of make the leap and come join us. I could probably list 5 right now, very quickly. We have a Directors Training Academy. We call it the Directors Training Academy. Essentially, it is a 3-day client appreciation trip. But it's more than that. It's an opportunity for directors to see places that they maybe have never gone to bring their groups to. So we have one to Nashville, one to New Orleans that directors who sign with us get to go on. And again, it's can either be, sort of a relaxing networking trip with other directors, or it could sort of be a scouting appreciation trip to see that they could bring their groups down to Nashville or New Orleans. So that's something that we offer, which is huge. We also offer scouting trips. So if a director wants to go to New York and they've never been, we will send that director out. I think it's similar to like a training academy where it's about 3 days, and we provide airfare, hotel, and a couple attractions, and we kind of send you on your way to kind of check out the city. We also have a referral bonus, so if you refer to someone...
Use promo code Music in the Making so Kevin Ferry gets the referral bonus.
Yeah, Kevin Ferry bonus in 2020.
Right. Yeah, we love that referring bonus. It's about, I think it's 1% commission, but for a trip...
go to Italy.
Yes,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, if you can convince them to go.
Right.
But it's like every time.
Yeah,
Every trip. So, like, let's say you didn't know me and you say, I use Guardian, you should do it. And I go to Guardian.
Every time you take a trip.
Every time I take a trip, you get 1% out of that.
I'm learning so much today.
Yeah.
This is a learning
I told you,
podcast.
Kevin's gearing up for that. Once he's done, once his grandson is done with high school, he's like...
He's got one more. He's got a year after I retire.
Oh, I do? Okay. Well, that first year's going to be golfing. And then the second year's going to be like, okay,
Yeah.
Guardian for real this time.
Right. Absolutely.
Gotta take a gap here.
Yeah.
At 57.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you out here.
Yeah. I just got to find myself. You know?
Right.
Find my retired self.
Yeah.
Definitely some unique, like incentives.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a relationship between us and the clients. Like, you're not just someone that we send on trips. Like, we're like you, if you like us, do us a solid by just telling everybody about us. And if you really like us, then, make sure that you stress to them saying, like, I had a great experience because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Because people like Mike Roberts
Shout out.
And shout out. We do shout outs, but you're in the room, so
Right.
extra shout out for you.
Right. Yeah.
So like it's just really, really great to have these incentives. I mean, like when I at one point was considering to do a trip with Guardian when I was teaching in Macomb, like I was finding out all this stuff, and I was like, do like not other companies do this? Because like this kind of seems like a no-brainer. I mean, I feel like this is like, I as a client, I should be rewarded for bringing you business too. And it's amazing that we're able to provide these services on top of like these incentives to bring in other.
I'm going to Nashville for 3 days.
Yeah,
that's the one that I'm planning. So just saying, it's gonna be a great trip.
I'm gonna go meet Garth Brooks. Shout out.
Shout out Garth Brooks, sponsor
Shout out
us.
Garth Brooks.
Sponsor us.
Friends of Low Places Bar and Grill sponsor us.
Please not Morgan Wallen.
That's
I knew there was a.
If I try to put that out,
joke
it's they were
like
getting
that
banned.
somewhere.
Hey, we're trying to build a new performing arts center. The Garth Brooks Performing Arts
Yeah.
Center is fine with me.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is on the agenda for tomorrow? Mike.
Tomorrow.
Trip organizer.
Trip organizer.
Trip
Extraordinaire.
organizer.
Tour guide.
Tour guide. Extraordinaire.
Trip
Yes,
organizer and tour guide Mike Roberts.
A very easy day tomorrow in the city. We are going to Navy Pier for a little bit. We were going to go to the Bean, but the Bean is currently under construction right now, and no one wants to see that. So we are going to Navy Pier. We are then going to Blue Man Group because there wasn't a lot of touring companies of Broadway musicals right now.
Blue Man's good.
Blue Man's gonna
Blue
be
Man-
great.
Blue Man's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's Chicago staple.
Yeah.
It's Chicago
Yeah,
staple.
Blue Man's awesome.
I shouldn't have downplayed that. But
No, you're good.
right.
You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
like
Blue
I've
Man-
never seen Blue Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blue Man's
yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Man's
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna walk out of that with your jaw dropped. They
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
so super good.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I've seen them not.
And
live,
what is it?
But
Briar Street Theater, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That theater is so awesome how that's all set up.
It's more
And-
north.
Yeah.
And the best part is like at the end when they're like, please give us our balls back. Could you please push our balls back towards the stage?
Yeah.
oh,
If you happen to touch our balls, could you please? It's like 12-year-old humor. and
Yeah, that's absolutely.
It's hysterical. They used to do a thing when we first went. When I was teaching at Avon. We went up there, and rather than they have like the fluorescent or the black light and the tubes and the balls light up. The balls are what 12 foot in diameter. They're gigantic. Mm-hmm. What they did, and I understand why they stopped doing this. They would have the toilet paper guns. Mm-hmm. Like, so they had a roll of toilet paper and it just shot wind. And so, toilet paper's going. The Blue Man
Blue Man
group
yeah.
were doing that. But from the back, they had rolls of paper towels and you're just pulling them forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, so you saw this like wave of stuff and toilet paper flying everywhere. But then they moved to the... Please give us our balls back.
Yeah.
So Blue Man's super super fun.
Has anyone seen Arrested Development? I haven't seen that
No.
show.
I just
Every
you
time
were gonna
I-
make and I just blew myself. reference.
Well, I was gonna say like in general, like it's just funny because like in that show, Tobias is like, oh, I found this new support group for people who are depressed. It's called Blue Man Group. So he's thinking he's going to this group for depressed men, but he goes to an audition for Blue Man Group, and so next thing you know, he gets in. He's an official Blue Man Group at one point. It's just really funny. I just can't ever think
I mean,
about
he
Blue Man Group
paints
without
himself. He paints himself blue and
Yeah.
says, "I just blew
myself. Yeah. that
Thank
show
God
was,
Lisa's not here.
That show was ahead of its time. That show was ahead of its time. Like, I mean, if you look at when that came out, like, jokes aside, running was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
We're going to Blue Man.
Blue Man Group.
What else are we doing?
Yeah.
Observation deck at John Hancock.
Herbie Hancock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The
Shout out
three-
to you if you know that reference.
That joke never gets old.
Yeah.
Shout out Chris Farley. Rest
Shout
in
out-
peace.
Rest in peace.
And then we are finishing the day at Fogo de Chao. And
Oh,
there will be a
man.
lot of meat eaten.
Meat swag.
Meat sweats. And Art's got to drive home.
And I gotta drive home.
I'm going to nap so hard.
I'm gonna chug a bunch of energy drinks just right after. Like, okay, that was a great,
I don't know.
great meal.
I am leaving my life in the driver's hands because I'm going to fall asleep.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
It's gonna, dude, I can't wait. Like, just
So good.
this White Castle we ordered is just gonna be just a stepping stone to what's about to happen tomorrow.
An aperitif.
An aperitif.
Oh man, the difference
Good
in
word.
meat.
Word of the day.
White Castle versus Fogo.
It's not even an appetizer. It's just gross. But I'm hungry. But I'm in the suburbs.
Did
This
you
is one of
order
the
White
things-
Castles?
Yeah.
It's been like a half hour.
Because
They're
they went
here.
Well, no. This is like the fifth person who's tried to pick
Oh,
up
they're
my order.
preparing the order.
Well, no. This person.
Are they not able to, like, have they
I think
failed to?
I think they're like, I don't want to drive. I don't know.
They keep the driver keeps.
Yeah, I kept getting, it's switched like 4 or 5 times.
What?
It was crazy.
Wow.
I don't. You can
crazy.
call down the desk and find out. And if they don't, I'll give
Anyway,
you my card.
but yeah. So I think one thing that and I definitely said this to
I'll
Kevin
get it.
too.
You don't have to pay. Just come
Is
and
that
get my
like
card.
this particular like
203.
trip is nice.
Girl bye.
I think for our kids because it's like where we are in the state, like Chicago is not really near them. I mean, the closest major city besides Chicago is St. Louis, but even that's in the opposite direction.
Right.
So for them to experience any of this tomorrow is like, again, I'm all about the experiences.
Yeah, some
I'm
of these
all-
kids have never been
like this will be
out of Warren County.
right,
Or
exactly.
Knox County or McDonough County or
And so I think it's
Henderson
so important.
County of all
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, I think it's so important that, again, it goes back to, like, thank you, Guardian, for doing all, like, most of the work to making sure that this goes as smoothly as possible, and to you, Mike, as well. Because, I mean, again, the experience that they're going to have and have had so far, is impactful as they go on, especially for our seniors. So we hope they enjoy themselves tomorrow, and we do too, and we hope it's memorable in many ways, more ways than
I
one.
think the thing they're most excited about is they get to sleep in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Being up at
True.
2 a.m. this morning was not natural.
Yeah.
It was
Brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brutal. But it was a good day. It was a good day. Got to sit and hang out with you guys. Not that we haven't talked all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I know. People were like, "What ride did you ride?" I rode the food court. And it
We
was
rode the
very,
food court.
and it was very comfortable in the shade.
Macho nachos.
I rode the
Cheese
Batman ride
cake.
first thing in the morning, but
Cheesecake on stick.
Cheesecake on a stick.
Yeah, how was that?
The first bite, I'm like, oh, this is last year's. But it was
shout
fine.
out Six Flags.
yeah. Six Flags food
Oh
court.
my gosh, that's awesome.
No, it was
No.
it was fine, and it seemed like the kids had a good time. We had a couple of bananas. The kids won. One kid won a giant dog.
Giant dog.
And
Yeah,
one of
another
our
one has
one of our
one.
kids got a giant eggplant.
Yeah, it's
Well, I didn't see that.
know.
plan.
You were fortunate. Mr. Ferry, would you take a picture with my eggplant? No.
exact words. But it's got a face, even worse.
Oh,
No.
No, I'm good.
We're not
Thank
gonna.
you.
We're not gonna
No.
eggplant.
And I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Mr. Martinez, definitely not." Thank you also for asking me second. I
A
appreciate
small
that.
mercy was
Back
that
up.
they did not even try to.
I'm the
ask me.
backup.
yeah. Yeah.
Small mercy.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
But
No, it was a good day. And
it was a good day. We so we didn't even talk about the results of
nah,
amusement
irrelevant.
parks.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Well, I mean, the kids played well. I mean, the choir, both band and choir got an excellent rating. We both got 2s, and like the
I will
band
say-
won their category, choir won their category.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
we both won our categories against other bands and choirs. It wasn't our best day, but. We had a clinician in the choir. He was like, "You guys need to have more energy." And I'm like, "Dude, they've been up since 2.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
I know.
we're pretty
They're
tired."
exhausted.
Yeah, but it was
They're
this.
exhausted.
Unlike us going to Orca where we are, we really have no idea what we're going up against. Like we have an idea because it's like we're like, oh, it's like separate various schools. We kind of have an idea, but I think it was still nice that we still.
Dude,
won
they
our
were from
categories.
all over the place.
There
Oh
was
yeah,
Minnesota.
There was
Yeah.
a choir
I
from
was like,
St.
for real.
Paul.
St.
Yeah,
Paul,
that's crazy.
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
That's
Mason
further away
City,
than us.
Iowa.
Yeah. That Minnesota charter was actually real. I didn't believe it. It did not.
was a fake.
Minnesota.
Oh dear.
Idaho. Minnesota.
We're gonna pick some of the Minnesotans.
not the Minnesotans. Vikings are okay.
Nah.
We should really check the demographics of where people are listening from.
Less
after this
than
episode.
1% Mexico, less than 1% Paraguay, maybe 1% British. I don't know.
1% Idaho.
What? It's 0 now. It was. We had a huge fan base.
Does anyone hate Idaho? You probably have an uptick from.
Now they're listening out of spite now.
Yeah.
They're like, what did they say about us? They listen to the whole episode.
Who borders
Yeah,
Idaho?
I don't know.
Like Wyoming's like, we love you.
Montana.
Utah's like,
Yeah.
yes.
Both
We've been saying it forever.
Both Washington and Oregon.
Yeah. State Washington.
Mike, anything else that our listeners need to know about Mike Roberts and Guardian Travel and sponsor us?
Right, sponsor. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
We're on radio.
Right, I know this.
We're live.
I've never been on a podcast before. This is very stressful.
It's all right.
Oh, man.
Our podcasts are the best. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mostly because Lisa just starts yelling at Kevin for no reason.
You just gained a listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to go back and start from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It definitely, quality gets a little bit better. So does the editing.
Yeah, right.
Well, I start showing up, so of course it gets
And
better.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Al shows up.
With.
Also. With.
So yeah, if you would like to dream a trip, whether it's taking 10 kids or 150 to 200, small or large, we would be happy to take your kids on the trip of your dreams. So feel free to look us up on the interwebs, guardiantravelgroup.com. I think that's our website. I'm
Yeah.
Wow.
Guardian
Well, we also were called the Guardian Music Travel at one point. But now it's
guardiantravelgroup.com.
There we go. Yeah.
Guardian
I should
Travel
know my own company's website name.
Make sure
Guardian
Matt doesn't
Travel.
see this one.
Right. I'll
Guardian
cross that.
Travel Group.
And so just, if they want to reach Mike Roberts, they go.
mroberts at guardiantravelgroup.com. The same thing as how Kevin is going to forward all my emails.
Damn right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Ferry, the subject line is going to say senior trip forward.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to read
I just
it.
want to thank you forward. I don't care.
We're going to see if we can figure out how to automate that.
Yeah, I said like keywords are like trip, senior, question about, and then it's like automatically everything
just
sent to
gets
the
sent
exactly.
on. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be wise.
Yeah.
You'll never see those messages.
Did I hear you say sometime today that you have a trip of 140 coming up?
There's 140 to New York coming up in October.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Band and choir?
Band, choir, orchestra, hip hop, guitar,
Whoa.
everything.
Can I ask who's that?
Shout out Glen Bardi High School.
Oh, Glen Bardi. Okay,
yeah.
all right,
Yes.
fine. Glen Bardi.
Shout out to you guys for having a really, really big program.
Yeah,
Yeah, holy crap.
they do.
140
Mike's
minutes.
like, cha-ching, commission. Commission. Give me all that money. That's an awesome trip. Holy cow, good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. Look up Guardian Travel Group. Look up Mike Roberts because it's the only way to travel.
If you're an Illinois person, Guardian has a booth at Midwest every year, Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic every year in Chicago, as well as the.
I would imagine you can be from Midwest, not just Illinois, right? Like I'm sure people from Wisconsin or
Well, but I'm saying specifically
Indiana.
Illinois if they want to come to the booth. I mean, people from Japan can come, but I don't know if we have listeners in Japan yet. People from Japan come to the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic. They usually kick our butt in music.
it's not
They're really good.
called the Illinois music. It's called the Midwest Clinic.
Midwest Band Orchestra. Actually, it's
International.
it's actually technically the International
Clinic.
Yeah, International
Band and
Midwest
Orchestra
Band Orchestra.
Clinic.
Yeah.
International Midwest?
International.
Midwest International.
Midwest.
International.
I think it's
Oh.
Midwest
Midwest
International
International
Band
Band
and
and
Orchestra.
Orchestra
Yeah,
Clinic.
Midwest.
Okay.
Midwest isn't where it's at. and then the scope of it is international.
And so do we know who won the trip that you guys gave away at IMAC? Because it wasn't me, and that's a bunch of crap.
It wasn't you.
I cried.
Because I was taking you.
Yeah, I know. And I was going to take you.
I was going to take you.
You told me.
And if I won, I was going to take you.
But neither of you drew my name.
Yeah. I wasn't near the bucket, unfortunately.
Shout out to whoever won the Guardian trip to wherever you're going.
3 people won. One from California, one from Nashville, and one from...
So you might as well not done that at IMAC. Because nobody from Illinois won.
From Illinois won.
Maybe Illinois should have their own.
We could.
We'll send you to Idaho.
Hey. Beggars can't be choosers. Directors Training Academy.
There you go.
Where do we want to go for that?
Hawaii.
I want to sing at Pearl Harbor.
That would be pretty awesome.
Take me with you.
Accompanists don't go.
Yes, of course. Silly me. You'll just do everything a cappella.
Enroll in the high school as like 1 credit for the choir that you can go and sing. There you go. I'm an exchange student. I am 12.
I'd rather not.
That was a Benchwarmers reference. Because the guy was
I've seen. I love.
Because he was like 30 years old, and he's like, "I am 12," and gave the umpire 5. He's like, "Yep, checks out."
Anything else for the good of the cause?
No, I think that we need to wrap it up so that we can hopefully eat food. I don't know if it's ever going to get here.
Yeah, we're not going to get White Castle.
But thank you, Mike, for everything you've done on this trip so far. We're looking forward to tomorrow. And again, if you need anything travel needs, please contact Mike at GuardianTravelGroup.com. But as always, thank you, Kidder Music, for sponsoring us. We appreciate your
Kidder
sponsorship.
is actually a sponsor.
Is an actual sponsor.
Wow.
So we are very thankful to have them support us, both as our district music distributor, but also as our podcast sponsor now. So anything musical needs, please contact Kidder, kiddermusic.com. Beth is great. They do a really, really good job over there. We shout out to Blake, our driver, and Jamie, our music distributor. We love all you guys. Appreciate what you do, and thank you again for sponsoring us. And there's only one way to end this episode.
Girl bye.
Mike's never experienced that, so
How
about we try it one more time, just because he can do it. So
and Mike can do it. Girl, you know girl bye?
It's girl bye, but it's okay.
You got to be a girl about it.
Girl bye.